Welcome to another episode of Elo Podcast. It has been a year. Has it been a year? I think it has been more than a year, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's probably been more than a year since No Elo,
Yeah.
like the first stream.
Yeah.
More likely
A
than
lot of
not.
things. Yeah. A lot of things happened in the meanwhile. Um, anything specific? Anything specific that happened to you in the meanwhile? Anything you want
Uh,
to share?
yeah, sure. I mean, I almost died. My 2022 started out with me almost losing my life, actually,
Sheesh.
which is kind of interesting. It's an interesting experience almost dying. It's not like people, say it is where your life flashes before your eyes and shit like that. The shit just, nah, dude, it just stops. um, but yeah, woke up in a hospital bed. Was in a hospital, or actually the ER for 8 days, and then another 3 days in the hospital, and got home. And my life has sort of been different ever since then. But other than that, I'm feeling pretty good for an almost dead man. It's been good.
Mm-hmm.
Life has been good to me. Other than that.
So you have diabetes, right? Which type was it?
It is actually type 1 diabetes, and apparently it's because of my medication that I was taking for my lungs
Oh.
that went in. And I mean, the medication was supposed to help me live, sort of, stop my body from attacking my lungs. And then somehow at some point my body decided that if it can't have my lungs, it's gonna take something else. And I mean, yeah, I don't know what to say about that. It's just life is life. Not much I can do about it. So yeah, what about you? How have you been doing? Have you been holding up? With the current gas prices and all, and your new car. I imagine driving is pretty hard, huh? All right, seems like we have an audio issue here. He might be back in a second or two, but we'll see about that.
Dumbass. Okay, this is fucking dumb. Anyways, yeah, what was your question? We had some problems with my internet. I mean, I had some problems with my internet.
Yeah. So back to the question at hand. I was asking how you were doing with your new vehicle and the current gas prices, actually, because apparently, ooh, they've gone to shit over here. Ooh,
Okay.
something else happened. Should have bought that Tesla.
When mining Bitcoin costs less than getting gas, is that then it becomes a problem, dude. That's yeah.
Yeah, it
Think about
is.
it. Think about it. You could mine Bitcoin, right? And electricity would cost less in total than if you would fill up your tank, right? Fill up the
Yeah, it
tank of your
is.
fucking vehicle. Imagine me saying that, and it's true, but it's 2016. Imagine,
It is
just fucking imagine.
completely insane.
It's
It is
fucked up. It
completely
is.
insane.
It is fucked up. I don't know what to do. I don't have enough money to buy gas anymore. But so what? Am I supposed to sell my car? What am I supposed to do? I'm paying for insurance basically, but I don't even use the car. Well, somewhat use the car because I cannot I can't really afford gas money a lot because again I'm a student. I might work, but I don't, due to Rona, I don't earn a lot. So I got also a lot of other costs. I also like have I do bodybuilding, as not a lot of people know that, but yeah, I also have other things I need to pay for that are also like very important to me. Um, this is fucked up, dude. This is dumb. This is fucked up. I heard Linus pays, was it 4 Canadian dollars per gallon, which wait, how how many Canadian dollars is I think it's something
I
with
think he's paying more like $8 Canadian dollars per gallon now because of the prices. The prices just increased again. I think a
again.
liter, yeah, I think a liter for us currently is like 3 or 4 euros, maybe more now, isn't it? Uh, it's the highest it's been in 5 years.
Jesus. Wait, let me see. So he's paying two Canadian dollars, 11 rupees. I don't know what currency they use. Um, per gallon, which is in dollars. Was it? Can't really. Uh, 2 euros is. Let's see. It's 1 point. Okay, wait. He's getting off lightly. What the fuck? He's paying €1.52 per gallon.
Really?
What is a gallon in liters?
1 gallon is a
Oh no, never mind. €1.52 per liter, not gallon, but still a good price. Interesting. Okay, Canada is not that. I mean, didn't get hit that hard. But maybe it is right now at €2 or more, because over here it is around €2.20. I don't know how much you pay in Denmark. I live in Germany, by the way, but
here it's 2.5, 268 to 78 euros per liter. So it's the market is completely fucked, and they just decided, hey man, let's with all this shit going on right now, let's up the price real quick to reflect the shit show, right? Nah, I mean, supply and demand, and then the panic over supply and demand is also gonna be a problem. So yeah, I guess shit happens.
yeah. Yeah, I've been using my car to get to my girlfriend's place, right?
Yeah.
And I like last weekend I wanted to use my car again. I was like, you know what? No, I refuse. I'd rather save what I would have paid. I think I would have paid around 15 euros at these prices. Rather say it was 15 euros for, I don't know, something else than use my car now, because it's kind of, it's
You know what I think? I think it's cheaper to just straight up buy a Tesla than it is to tank, like to go on a full tank, you know?
most definitely.
Nah, just kidding.
Is it not? I thought it is.
I mean, if these prices stick for another year, yeah, you might as well just buy a Tesla instead. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially the electricity costs,
Yeah.
it's way cheaper if you think about it. But well, yeah, as for me, what happened during the time I was we didn't record another episode. Yeah, well, a lot of things happened. I think during the time when we recorded an episode, I was grinding for GM and Overwatch. I don't remember. Maybe it was later. But yeah, I finally reached GM, quit the game for good. I was on top of 100 for a short amount of time. I quit the game for good. I dislike it. I hate the game so much. I just cannot really stand it. It's funny. I'm clowning around every time because I keep reinstalling the game because of reasons like, oh, I got a new mouse. I got to reinstall Overwatch to test it out. Instead of going to into CS:GO and then playing a game there, or Valorant even. Oh, I got a new SSD. Let me test out the speeds. Let me test out the speeds.
Yeah.
Let me test out the speed of my SSD of my NVMe SSD, right? By installing Overwatch. And I was like, okay, well, installing Overwatch was like super fucking fast, and now I want to try out the game because I want to see the load times if there's a fucking difference. I'm like, I keep bringing myself to install the game again, right, and then play it, and then hating it every fucking time I go into. I hate it. I cannot bring myself to play the game and enjoy. I cannot. I'm losing brain cells.
On that note, did you sign up for the beta test for PvP for Overwatch 2?
Oh, you mean the one that comes out in April? Late April? You mean that one?
Yeah, that April one? Next year, right? These fucking developers, I swear to God.
$5 they're gonna delay it. I bet $5 they're gonna delay it, dude. $5.
Dude, shit.
I'm wagering all I have basically. $5 that they're gonna fucking delay the beta somehow. I don't know how. And even though the Overwatch League is gonna be the Overwatch is gonna revolve around Overwatch 2 now from now on, and it's actually soon. So before you could even own the game, right? Most probably own the game. You will watch pro players play the game. I'm like, what kind of bullshit is this? Like, what kind of experience do you deliver to your players? I don't think anyone would like enjoy watching their pro players be like good at a game that you don't kind of like physically own. Like, it's like, where's the fun? You don't have any connections.
Yeah.
The reason why a lot of people watch Overwatch League when when it was in the hype was because Overwatch was in a relative good state. It was fun to play. It was very fun to play the game.
I mean, even when Overwatch fell off back then, you still saw it like have a relatively huge viewer base, mainly because it was on Twitch at that point in time, because they chose the right platform to promote on. Whereas when their contract ran out with Twitch, as you saw, they just dipped to YouTube and instantly, like, I think it was 3 or 4 days after they dipped to YouTube, their viewership numbers went from in the hundreds of thousands to less than 30,000 every stream. It's an embarrassing way to go. You could pay a couple $1,000 to renew a contract, or just fucking throw half your viewer base or 98% of your viewer base out the window. Like, I think their streams on average had 200, 300,000, sometimes 400,000 viewers on Twitch. And then it just fell off the face of the planet, like, immediately thereafter.
I went onto Twitter, right? And then every time I see a meme about Overwatch 2 is gonna get released after World War 3 is gonna happen. So basically World War 3 is gonna happen before Overwatch 2 is getting released. I get on Twitch, on Twitter, right? I see Overwatch news, and I'm like, okay, what happened? And it's just memes about Overwatch 2 getting released. Like, people retweet the beta tweet from Overwatch 1, disguising it as a hey, Overwatch 2 beta is getting released sort of deal, which is like, it was funny at first point, but at some point, dude, it kind of gets annoying, and also it is kind of sad. It is so fucking sad that the community really needs something, right? The community is asking for it constantly, but the developers just don't give anything. But it's not really the developers to blame. Most probably management. Most probably the fact that they got bought up by Microsoft. So it's also
I think they had those problems. They've been having those problems before Microsoft ever got involved. I think it has something to do with the lawsuits and Activision in general being like, I don't know what to call it, but they're not the most reliable or stable company in the gaming market, especially when it comes to development, because they've gotten so complacent after developing so many Call of Duty games that it's just the same game rehashed, that they're going, oh, you don't need this many people or this resource here and here, because you could probably just fucking take the same shit, make some skins, update the graphics, and then put it out, because they are so, like, upper management is so disconnected from the game development side of things that, they actually have no clue what goes into making a game, because they're used to seeing the same shit over and over again.
And don't forget the microtransactions, like in so many games that are being published by Activision. Activision. Like Destiny 2 used to be partnered, or I think Destiny 2 was published by Activision, if I remember it correctly.
I think they bought Bungie, actually, and then Bungie bought the game back and left.
Yeah. Good decision. Very good decision. a lot of skins and a lot of in-game things that were like locked behind a paywall are now accessible by the player base. Most of them at least. There are a few things, a few skins that are locked behind a paywall, but that's fine. At least 99% of the content is unlockable now, which is great. Which is really great. I don't have to fucking pull out my wallet and say, "Here's $100. Please give me some fucking skins." But rather, I can just farm them myself and like find them in open world or get them during events. It's fun. It's fun. It was a very good decision. Also, very good. I don't know. I feel like it was also a very good decision by Microsoft to buy out Activision. You said that it's not the main like the reason why the beta is getting released so late is not because of Microsoft. I feel like they might have lost like a few days because of that. But ultimately, right, I think it was a very good decision that Microsoft bought out Activision for Overwatch's 2's sake.
Yeah,
Just for Overwatch's 2's
definitely.
sake. Yeah.
Definitely. I also think that Microsoft is gonna bring a lot of new. I mean, they're gonna bring a lot of good stuff to the table because Call of Duty might change in the future now. We have Overwatch and other Blizzard properties that might get updates and quality of life features that they might never have seen if things had continued this way, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely gonna be. I'm excited for this future. I'm excited for Blizzard's future, and that's the first time I can say that since I started playing World of Warcraft back in like 2007, right?
Jesus.
That I'm excited for something that has to do with Blizzard, right?
Yeah. Yep. Same. I think a lot of Diablo players are also very happy about it. The Diablo?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Diablo players as well.
Yeah. No, yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, a lot of Diablo players are gonna be very excited about it. Like, are very excited about it as well. And yeah, Call of Duty is now on a 2-year cycle. Or at least every Call of Duty title is gonna be released every 2 years from now on. I'm gonna be fucking honest. Cold War, yikes! I buy Call of Duty titles mainly for the zombie content.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, Cold War is wow.
Dog water.
It was like yeah. I played through all of the zombie maps, and I will tell you something. Right? Let me tell you something. I fell asleep. I fell asleep because the zombie content in those games are just made for casuals, made for newbie players who have never touched never played the mode in their whole life. Black Ops 4 was actually made like that. Black Ops 4 was made like that, but was still hard, but was still like there was still some challenge. It was like it had something, it had like a little bit of something that still challenged the seasonal players, still challenged the veteran players, but
Yeah.
also at the same time helped out newbies to understand the whole mode. The Cold War one, fuck off. Actually, fucking fuck off, dude. The amount of things that that's so badly made. It's laughable. And then Vanguard comes along like around the corner. Like I played the multiplayer beta, and then let me tell you something. I saw the gameplay loop right within 5 minutes, and I didn't even see the gameplay loop of Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 2 within like I don't know a year of playing time. I didn't even see it. I didn't get bored of it. But Vanguard, dude, it is oh god, so obnoxious. It is so boring. I literally could not help but to just uninstall the game after like 3 days. Like I played to it. It was like a little bit of fun because I kind of managed to get a little bit of like squeeze a little bit of fun out of it. But at some point I just had to say, nah, fuck it. It's not like, yeah, it's just brainless. Like so much brainless stuff is happening there. Like there's no like fun involved in there. You just have to make it yourself basically. What is it? When a child gets a toy, it's to you, to an adult, it's just a simple toy, but to the child, it uses its imagination to make it like fun. to have fun
Yeah.
with it. And this is basically what's happening here. Like, players make fun out of it, like imagine stuff or play differently in a certain way that make the game seem fun. But if you look at the game from like a bot's perspective, or like a bland perspective, then you would see that it's dog shit. It's
Yeah.
quite literally dog shit.
Yeah, most of those games really are. On the topic of games, new
Elden Ring?
releases this year, Elden Ring. People
It's
seem
good.
to be complaining about the get good aspect of the game, right? The game is too hard for no reason aspect. But people also seem to not understand that the studio that made the game, right? The people that are making this game are the same people that made the Souls games, okay? So now you are having you're having all these people that have never
Played the
never
Dark Souls
played a
game.
Souls game thinking, yo, this is super cool. And then some of them, of course, will always go, what am I looking at? Why is this so hard? And practically speaking, this is probably the easiest version of a Souls game that there is, right? Yes, this is actually one of the easier versions, because if they played anything like Dark Souls 2, they would then understand what kind of situation they were actually in for, right? Or even the first game.
I've never played a Dark Souls game my whole life, but I love the series. I've always watched speedruns, gameplays, even really enough, even tutorials about the game, because the game aesthetically and also gameplay wise seems a lot of fun. Like the challenge is what makes it fun to play. Keep retrying. But I wonder, like Sekiro Shadows Dies Twice.
Yeah,
Game.
Sekiro.
So
Yeah.
so that game was also super hard, or was also known for being very hard. Did people not complain there? Like, what sense does it make to complain about Elden Ring now? It is literally what makes the game, like, this is the character of like the Souls game, that they are hard, right?
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like buying Cyberpunk 2077, right? And then asking yourself, why does this game have cyberpunk aesthetics? Because it is literally a game about cyberpunk.
Yep.
It is literally, it revolves around it. It's a world like that is in a distant future, like way far ahead, fantasy world-ish, kind of.
Yeah.
But
So, again, one thing I didn't really understand, and sorry for cutting you off here, is
no problem.
I think most people, especially people that have played the Souls games, right, in this kind of situation, our problem wouldn't be as much the gameplay loop as it would be something like the game was fucking made for console and runs at 60 FPS, right? Or that's at least what it feels like. It feels to the average Souls enjoyer, as one could say, as an unoptimized mess sometimes compared to some of the older games. But some of the older games came with their own problems as well. So, I mean, I don't really know too much, but I also hear from people that, in general, that the gameplay loop is just, for them, they feel like it's super repetitive compared to what it used to be, right? So
You mean for it just being hard, like with no lore or no other things that make it fun?
no, the game is fun, but the thing about the game is there are a bunch of skills that you can get, right? And let's say you're someone like me who prefers long range, you'd invest all your points into sorcery, right? And at that point, it's a grindy game for you because you don't really have any kind of any kind of defense or whatever. So you're investing all these points into sorcery to either very mediocre abilities or very useless abilities. There are some end game abilities in the game that are super strong that you can use to defend against, really strong enemies, or even turn the game into a joke in itself, right?
Yeah.
But to get there, you have to invest like a couple 100 hours almost. So yeah, it's a bit grindy depending on what you pick.
So the game becomes fun just at the end.
Yeah, for some people it becomes fun at the end. For some people, the challenge is the fun, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I can speak for myself when I say that I find challenge to be a very fun aspect. I understand the fact that it can become annoying at some point. Destiny 2 recently has released the Witch Queen DLC. And in that, for the very first time, as far as I know at least, you can choose to play the whole story, the whole DLC in legendary difficulty. And legendary difficulty is on the same difficulty as, I would say, Nightfall Master Strike, which is basically the enemies are very hard to kill. There's like a lot of debuffs placed on you. There's a lot of buffs placed on the enemies. They're stronger. They do more damage. So you have to actively think about what your next step is. You have to really, really, really think about what the next step is, how you set up specific things, what loadout should you have, etc., right? There have been multiple levels in the DLC so far where I have literally died like 30 times over and over again, and I did not quit. Actually, no, never mind. I remember quitting once. Because I died of some fucking bullshit, and I was like, "Oh yeah, fuck you. I don't want to do this shit anymore." Came back, and then beat it. But like I quit because I died from some bullshit, not because it was too hard. Because at the very end, I got like so much dopamine. It felt like a huge reward when I finally, after so many countless retries, beat the level. So that's what is fun to me. Having a challenge, and then beating it. That means basically you are better than a certain percentage of players. So seeing it kind of like competitively, at least like a little bit.
Yeah, that's definitely also why I only play first-person shooters, because I find that sometimes the challenge against oneself is not as fun as the challenge against other people. Challenging other players, seeing that you're better than others, and that aspect of gameplay is also really nice. I think that's also why we're so into achievement hunting and achievements, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, basically the same reason why I wanted to reach GM in Overwatch, to show that I'm better than everyone else. But low GM doesn't mean shit, anyways.
I don't think GM actually means anything in Overwatch anymore, because
some master players are fucking better than like the majority of the GM players. It is funny to see. I saw so many master players who literally just roasted lobbies, and they were legit masters. They were legit master players, who are just better than the fucking, I don't know, the level 5 million diva player on the enemy fucking team, who has a diamond border and has like past experience in like high GM. I don't know. It is a weird game. It is a weird Elo.
Yeah.
To be in. It doesn't matter. I just did it for myself. I did not do it to show off or something like that. It's just for myself. Okay, I want to prove that to myself that if I have it, if I take the time and be dedicated, I can reach any level I want. Right? And I did. Yeah. I did, and I was done with that game forever because, the community. I'm just gonna say the community. I'm not gonna rant about it. I'm not gonna talk about it a lot. Community and gameplay. All I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Really unfortunate.
But it is really unfortunate.
Yeah. But yeah, nothing. Yeah. And anyways, sorry. Onto the speaking of games, newly released. Um, have you played any newly released games?
If
Because
I have,
yeah.
go ahead, finish that sentence, and I will tell you what I've played and what I haven't played.
Okay. So as I already mentioned, Destiny 2 released the Witch Queen DLC. I haven't played Destiny 2 since I don't know, like 5 months, 6 months ish. Basically, I can actually tell you how long I haven't played. I haven't played for 2 uni semesters, which is 6 months. Yeah, okay. So I haven't played the game for 6 months. I haven't. I enjoyed Beyond Light, really cool DLC in my opinion. But the content gets like really pretty fucking fast, and that's why I stopped. After that, like sometimes started playing the game, like started the game and then went in and like played a game of Crucible or whatever, and then it's a PvP mode by the way. And then now they released a new DLC, and I've been enjoying it a lot. So take it from a veteran or seasonal the Destiny player. Um, if you have money, go buy the DLC. Right? Don't get the deluxe edition, and I repeat that again. Don't get the deluxe edition because you don't know how good the seasons after it are gonna be. B, I think you get like some exclusive reward. I think you get an SMG or something like that. It's not really worth it in my fucking opinion. I don't have it yet, but if Bungie locks specific content behind, no, wait, you get 2 dungeons. That was it. Yeah, you get 2 dungeons. That you only get when you have the deluxe edition, and if Bungie locks something like that behind the paywall, fuck them. Get the basic edition. Don't listen to them. Okay, if you don't have the money to buy the basic edition or the deluxe edition, don't get the deluxe edition. I have the deluxe edition. I got it cheap. Not gonna say how, not gonna say where, because ultimately don't really support
Other websites.
Yeah, ultimately I don't support the that way of buying games. But for my case, I've sold my investments, my inventory, my Cisco inventory for that, and then managed to buy it cheaply. So yeah, I've got some content to play. That's all I'm saying. And yeah, that's basically what I've been playing.
Yeah.
What about you?
Me, I've just really, after the last Cyberpunk patch, I've been enjoying that game a bit more. I've been checking out games every now and then. I see a game on Steam, I pick it up, I play it for a little bit, I put it down, start thinking about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are some really nice games out right now. There are some really, really nice games out right now. One of the really nice games that are out actually is, let me see if I can find it here. Because as we all know,
I'll be back. You can continue your sentence.
yeah, as we all know, one should never buy a billion games, and I tend to buy a billion games. So let's see here. Can I sort by newest in my library? Oh yeah, Dying Light 2. Actually, Dying Light 2 is it's kind of awesome, right? But it's not as good as the first game, I would argue. But then again, the first game had a lot of things that were wrong with it. I really enjoyed the first game. I think I played the first game for 150 to 200 hours, besides playing Mirror's Edge Catalyst and Mirror's Edge, the original game. And those were super interesting to me. I find that I always come back to Mirror's Edge, if not for the soundtrack, then for the gameplay loop, because it's always a really nice game to just sit down and relax to, especially now that I've played Catalyst for
Okay.
quite a while and I've learned some of the movement tricks and mechanics in that game as well. So I find that Mirror's Edge is a good game to come back to. And even though the game, especially Catalyst, wasn't that great and the story was kind of shit, I would recommend buying it for anybody that's interested in something to relax with, right?
Mm.
Or at least to get it as an introduction to like Mirror's Edge. It's sort of a prequel game, but
Really?
yeah, it's a
Story-wise as well, or you mean?
yeah, story wise, Catalyst is kind of a pre-sequel kind of deal, right? But it feels more like a prequel than anything else.
Mhm.
So
Uh, yeah, Mirror's Edge games are very fun. Especially watching speedruns of those and learning speedrun.
somebody's being an asshole and honking outside.
Uber Eats.
This is great, dude. People always find some way to annoy me, while I'm talking. They just start honking and shit.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, I'm
Is
not
it-
going out there. I don't give a shit.
You know what they say? If they annoy you, just throw a brick into the car window. Just saying. You know?
Yeah.
Especially if it's a Mercedes.
Sounds like a great idea, dude.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, Mirror's Edge is a very fun game, especially if you learn the mechanics. The game becomes super fucking fast, and if you are into fast games, then there you go. Mirror's Edge is like if you have a lot of fun learning mechanics and if you like parkour and if you like fast-paced games, Mirror's Edge is really something for you. You could watch speedruns of it, because speedruns of the game are very fun to watch and also very interesting. Preferably glitchless, because if you watch glitch with glitches, it kind of like becomes not stale, but a little bit confusing to watch. It's not really what the game is about. The game is about parkour and completing a level as fast as possible. Mirror's Edge games are very, very, very fun. Would recommend. Played them. Never could really learn the mechanics though, because I was a little kid and yeah.
Oh yeah. Another thing. Teardown. Teardown, a voxel-based destruction game, right? The game is amazing, dude. Like, it's actually the best destruction I've seen since the first.
Battlefield KW.
Yeah, since my first. I wouldn't say since my first.
I mean, what games are known for the destructions besides Battlefield, of course?
I mean, Bad Company 2. So Battlefield Bad Company
right.
2, and then we had Crisis. Actually, the first Crisis game had really good destruction.
Okay. Interesting. I never played Crisis. So.
Yeah.
Bad Company 2, I did play with Crisis. But it's heard it's actually a good game.
Yeah, Crisis was a nice tech demo.
Cannot Crisis.
I always call it that, dude.
I think nowadays it's just cannot run Cyberpunk 2077 with more than 60 FPS. No DLSS, of course.
Yeah,
That
I
is
think most hardware should be able to run Cyberpunk without DLSS above 60 now, since the last update.
yeah, no compromises. Ultra. Or what is
okay,
it?
maybe not.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. As soon as I pull out the max or like semi-max visuals, then yeah, everyone was like, okay, never mind. How is it right now, by the way? Because whenever I play Cyberpunk, I use that one mod that fixes a lot of fucking things. and makes the frames be above 60, you know, because there are some parts of the world where it literally drops to 20s. Yeah, I have a 3070, by the way. I have a 3800X. Okay, it's another 5600X. Okay, but don't at me about it. But yeah, I still get like with the mod I don't, but without it I used to get like a lot of FPS drops, especially in some specific areas. It was like super fucking bad, and disrupted the flow of the game.
Yeah. I mean, right now after patch 1.5, I haven't been running into performance issues with or without DLSS. I think my average frame rate with everything on ultra with DLSS off is like around 80 to 90 FPS, and then when I turn on DLSS, I will be having around 100 and something FPS with ray tracing enabled. So it's pretty nice for me right now, at least. It's I think we've kind of hit the sweet spot, unless the next update for DLSS gets even better.
Yeah, yeah. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
That's actually all I wanted from the game, to be runnable on newer graphics cards. I did not buy my 3070 specifically for Cyberpunk, but it's a nice benefit to use my graphics card for such games, because Cyberpunk is not the only game that um, it needs a lot of graphics card power. But it's like a really cool benefit to run these games on like very high visuals, very high settings.
Yeah. Oh yeah, talking about the
Graphics
on the
cards.
note of DLSS, right? On the note
Yeah.
of DLSS, Nvidia got hacked recently. Let me see if I can pull up an article here.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, go on.
so these guys managed to get hacked by a group called Lapsus, bro. Like what? How, dude? It's it's a it's a very interesting situation because they say that no data has been like
Nice. Data has
no
been
data has
stolen.
been stolen from people that work at Nvidia or customer data. But at the same time, they lost all the code for DLSS was stolen, right?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see who these hackers try to sell this data to.
Let me tell you how they did it. It's actually quite easy. So that they managed to hack into two of Nvidia's employees' email account. No, actually, sorry, not two, but like generally, they got access to the employees' email accounts, and through that, they've spread their malware and managed to collect all their data. Yeah, and they went on to actually threaten Nvidia if you don't if you don't come to terms with our demands, then we're gonna release all of the stuff that we have stolen, all your data. One of which was to make Nvidia open source, which I am all for it, especially for, I don't use Linux a lot, at least. I mean, I use it for my uni projects. To do something there for coding stuff, for coding in C especially, or assembly, and also simulation. But I feel like that is a very cool demand, but I don't think that this should happen at like, in a thread. I think something like that should come from Nvidia themselves to make their drivers open source, so that finally, for after years of struggle, Linux users can finally enjoy like proper drivers for their Nvidia graphics cards,
Yeah.
and not be dependent on like Windows virtualization.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean there are Linux drivers for Nvidia graphics cards, but the driver support is just abysmal. You know, it's I don't know why they're so stuck up on not letting us use like full-fledged drivers that just work, right? Because I've been using Linux for mm, a long time. Most of my Windows systems are virtualized because there's just I don't see how running telemetry in the background 24/7 helps me in any way, shape, or form. And to that I say Microsoft can go fuck itself, but I love Xbox. Just let that be noted. I love Xbox, but Microsoft can go fuck themselves. Uh yeah.
Um, it is a very unfortunate situation for Nvidia, but so so they didn't. So basically, the way they responded to it was they played it down. They said no, did no such thing happened. We did not lose 1 terabyte. I think it was 1 terabyte of data. Let me see. Yeah, it's over 1 terabyte of data. And then they launched a counterattack. A counterattack by sending or compromising one of the attacker's virtual machine and launching ransomware on there. So basically, they said nothing happened, but attacked the attackers. Okay, sure, whatever. They managed to compromise one virtual machine of VX Underground. VideoCards.com that says that. Wait, what was it? So what was the quote that was like, in my opinion, very vague? Yeah, here a quote from VideoCards.com. The most interesting part of the story is that NVIDIA allegedly hacked the group back by trying to encrypt the stolen data. However, the group has made a copy of it in a virtual machine environment, which means such a counterattack measure will be unsuccessful. Yeah, okay. So, yes, it's true that such counterattack might be unsuccessful, but don't forget, guys, there is malware outside that can even go through your virtual machines. So not all virtual machines are really, really safe from it. So keep that in mind when working with malware. Always, and of course, always working in closed environment when you do that. But yeah, in a sense, basically they said no, they did not do anything, but then launched a counterattack to encrypt their data. So allegedly, by the way, this is all allegedly. So the quote of them NVIDIA attacking them comes from Lapsus, the group Lapsus themselves. So nothing has been confirmed by NVIDIA's side. And I don't think they will confirm anything. They don't have to. But it is suspected by them that NVIDIA is the one who sent the ransomware to encrypt the stolen data, which allegedly was not even stolen in the first place. So very, very confusing. A very confusing situation. But what is known is a lot of things have been leaked to that. Not only DSS, which will be used by major companies like AMD with their what is their DSS called again? Something with FM. Oh, was it FAS or CAS?
Super sampling.
It's called. Wait, yeah, it's just called. Oh, Fidelity FX. There you go. It's called Fidelity FX. They will. So for most people, this information like about DSS won't do a lot, but for companies like AMD, right? Even Intel now, because as most don't know about it, Intel wants to make a GPU. Even Intel could use this information to improve their GPUs. Because let's be honest, AMD's Fidelity FX is not really that great. It's basically bare bones. It doesn't work as great as NVIDIA's DSS works. And I'm talking about the DSS on the 3070, like the 3000 series GPUs, not the 2K, not the RTX 2000 series GPUs. Yeah, so kind of interesting what comes with it.
The one on the 2000 and 3000 should be the same.
Are you sure? I thought they updated it.
No. So long as the thing has tensor cores and fucking RT cores, it should practically be the same. Because DLSS is DirectX 12 API handling method, I think, something like that.
Okay. I don't know that. I thought that they updated for the 3000, and then the
Yeah.
updated one, the 2.01, is specifically being used by the 3000 GPUs. I don't know that.
The
Okay.
only card that wouldn't have access to this is the 1650, I think. The 1650 did get
As
an update to. I mean, because the 1650 was built on the same architecture as
RTX GPUs.
the 20 series GPUs,
Yeah.
but it shouldn't have access to either, I think, ray tracing or DLSS. I don't know
I don't have
exactly.
access to ray tracing. I know
Yeah.
that. They have. I think they have DSS access, but don't take my word for it. It's always better to look it up. Wait, actually, you know what? Let me just do it myself then. GTX 1650 DLSS. No, it doesn't. Okay, so neither. Nor I don't think they have RTX. The ray tracing, 100%. I know ray tracing now. But I no sorry. So neither ray tracing or DSS, but it has tensor cores. So okay, interesting about it. Yeah, the whole situation unfortunately evolved into something very bitter and something very, very shitty. And that is that hackers are now using the leak to hack into your graphics drivers or hack into your graphics cards, more like. So basically what they do is, so you know a lot about mining, you've been doing it yourself. I don't do mining. I have a crypto portfolio, but I don't do mining. I've never done that before. But basically, NVIDIA has put up a software log on all GPUs that at a specific hash rate, the drivers will notice, hey, this guy is mining crypto. So we will now not shut down the GPU, but throttle down the performance.
Yeah.
So that you can barely do any crypto mining on it. And they do that to put more GPUs into the hands of gamers, which, you know, okay, that's a one solution to do it. That is also the reason why they also sell simultaneously graphics cards that are specifically made for miners. Yeah, and the way a lot of people circumvent it is by installing a driver that mods the GPU in such a way that you can use at least up to 50% of the hash rate of any GPU. So basically, a driver that lets you unlock whatever NVIDIA has locked in the hash rate. Yeah. So the way the people have done it is they've released a driver that has been disguised as a crypto mining unlocking tool, and people download it and execute the driver. But in reality, what they do is they remote to your computer and then use your GPU to hash or to crypto mine cryptocurrency for them. So just like, so basically, it's sort of a worm they install. So get remote. So they install the driver. To the driver, they use I forgot the software's name to be exact, but they use a software name that lets you remote access admin into your system from their system, and then through that they install whatever they want, and sort of in a worm-ish fashion they use your GPU power to mine cryptocurrency for them, which is like, you know, it's not really great. So be really careful when it comes to that. And this is like one of the things that happened because of the NVIDIA leak. Really unfortunate how it like evolved into this. A lot of people, a lot of shady people around on the internet. If you wanna know more about this topic specifically, I would recommend watching Mudahar's some ordinary gamers video on it. I think it was something called with you can hackers are trying to get, or like hackers are trying to hack your graphics card or something like that. Where he elaborates more on what exactly happened. Well, not really much else than what we've said so far, but more on the malware IT spec side, which is in my opinion very, very interesting if you're into it or not. Who knows? Yeah, but you also mentioned a way to prevent it, and that is through a managing tool for your Windows Defender that looks for assigned drivers. So basically, he won't accept any driver that has not been properly signed, and that is the problem here. That you're basically executing a driver that has not been properly time-stamped or stamped itself. Yeah. So it's a really, really unfortunate situation. I just hope for the future. What do you hope for the future? Like, what do you think would be a good outcome from this?
I think right now, I mean, in the tech space, generally, I hope that we will see tech that is worth buying, tech that is more interesting in the future. Technologies for graphics, technologies for rendering, but in the real life sense of things, I feel like the world right now is kind of going to shit, and I hope that a lot of people make it out safe, I hope that a lot of people make it out safe. I hope that a lot of people find a new home. I hope that people start to treat each other properly, because what I see and what I've seen for the last 10 years of my very short life is that as human beings, we tend to see a problem, right? We tend to see a problem far off in the future, and then so we try to prevent the problem, and in trying to prevent said problem, we create the problem that we were originally trying to prevent, right?
Correct.
So I feel like at this point, I think it's something that we as human beings, especially from our generation, we're not really kids, but we're not really 100% adults. I feel like we're the ones that need to take this shit over and, start fixing shit, right? Because old people, they're all fucking senile anyway. They don't know what the fuck they're doing anymore. So it's gonna be left to us at some point, and hopefully we don't make the same mistakes as our parents' generation or their parents' generations. But we never know. We might actually learn from the mistakes of the past this time around, instead of falling into the same pit.
Yeah. I have the same opinion on it. To summarize the whole fucking thing is that it is currently quite a shithole to live in, like, world. And I just hope that if you have relatives that are safe, if you have people who are affected by anything, it could be by the war, it could be by hacks, by anything regarding that it could affect your life negatively, that you get safely out, that you have hope that that everything is gonna be alright for you. That is what I wish for you. We're actually gonna talk about the topic properly, but that we're gonna do in the next episode, where I'm gonna actually talk about the fact that I have a refugee at my house right now. We're gonna take 2 more, but I'm not gonna say more about it. Again, I will do that. We will do that in the next episode.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say to sum it up?
No, there isn't really much. Just be good to each other, people. Be good to each other. People are going through a lot these days. People are going through a lot these days.
Yeah, it's very tough nowadays. Very tough world we live in, especially the situation has been going on for multiple days, weeks, or months. Just stay strong. It's gonna be alright. That's all I can say. Alright. I see you guys in the next episode. Or we will see you in the next episode.
Yes, we will. And thanks for dropping by, everybody. We appreciate it. And yeah, that's all from us for this time.
See ya.
Peace.